Celsius? Yes, no? Yes, so. Anybody affected by the light? All right, so before we jump into the day, what we're going to learn, like we talked about last class, we're going to jump into weapons and technology. Let's do a quick recap. And no teaching. So last class we learned what war are we in right now? What war are we talking about?
World War I.
Okay. It's good. Everybody's listening. Where exactly did World War I occur? Europe. Okay. So somebody paint a picture. Give me a time frame.
1914.
Okay. And how many years did the war last? 1914 and 1918.
4 years.
Okay. And we're currently in the United States. So when did we go ahead and enter the war? 1917, right? And if there's an acronym that we taught last class, what exactly was that acronym? Maine. So Maine was the reason that the war actually started, right? So give me that M. What does that M stand for? Militarism. And what's the root of that word?
Military.
Okay. And the A, what the A stand for?
Alliance.
What exactly?
Ally.
Ally. And then you have imperialism. And what's the N stand for?
Nationalism.
And what's the root of nationalism?
National.
Nation, right? So nation. So I believe we covered everything, right? So we learned that this was the cause of World War I, right? So in front of you guys have a document. Flip to the side where it has 5 questions. It says World War I anticipation guide, right? So I'll go ahead and read the question. After I finish the question, you can go ahead and choose either agree or disagree, and put a short reason why you agree or disagree. All right? So either agree or disagree, and a short reason why you agree or disagree. So make sure everybody's on this side. All right, question number 1. It says, it is important that the United States build a strong military in order to protect itself. If you agree, go ahead and select agree. If you disagree, go ahead and select disagree. Go ahead and put a small reason why. All right, about 10 more seconds. Going on to number 2. It says, it is important that the United States continues to always keep up with new technology in weapons and military training. Agree, disagree. Number 3. Somebody go ahead and read it because I lost my document.
It is
Go ahead.
important that all countries build a military to protect their own country in the time of war.
All right, so it is important that all countries build a military. So it's not talking about just the United States. It said all countries. That's different. So all countries need to build a military in order to protect themselves in a time of war. So for this question right here, right, for number 4, I'll go ahead and read number 4. I want you guys to go ahead and think about it. Just put agree or disagree. Do not write your answer. Just put agree or disagree. I just want to see a quick show of hands, okay? So, and I'll tell you when the show of hands goes. For number 4, think about the question. It says, it type of weapon should be used in a time of war in order to win. So any type of weapon. There's no restrictions. Right? So think about that. If you agree, just circle agree. If you disagree, just go ahead and circle disagree. If you agree, by show of hands, raise your hand. Alright? 5, 6. So we got 6 people on the agree side. If you disagree, go ahead and raise your hand. Okay, we got a lot of people on the disagree side. Alright? So same rules apply to question number 5. It says, it is often necessary to kill civilians. To kill civilians during a time of war. So it is often necessary to kill civilians during a time of war. So if you agree or disagree, go ahead and write it down. Circle it, bubble it. Civilians, just regular people who have nothing to do with the war. Just regular people of wow. Right there. Right there, and I'm gonna come to you. You can change your mind about anything. All right, so just by show of hands, go ahead. If you agree.
Wait, what?
If you agree with question number 5, go ahead and raise your hands. I see got people that actually agree this class. 1, 2, 3, right? Now raise your hand if you disagree.
Oh.
All right, so I noticed something very interesting with Nicolette. She raised her hand for agree, and she also raised her hand for disagree. Nicolette, can you elaborate a little bit your logic behind that?
I agree because one life isn't worth the life of millions and thousands of people. But at the same time, I disagree because no one should get killed because it's not their fault. They didn't cause the war.
Is there somebody who would like to add on to that? Is there somebody who's on the opposite side? Go ahead.
I put agree and disagree. Or agree, I put because they kids in the church in the midst of the war. And I disagree because sometimes they just use people like civilians to get like
That's a good point. So she said enemies use civilians, right? To act like just ordinary civilians, but they also may be part of the tactic, right? So different tactics, right? So if we think about the letters again, we got militarism, alliance, imperialism, and nationalism. These questions are based on which letter up there? M, right? Because everything is related to the military. It's not talking about who's your friend. It's not talking about taking over a country. It's not talking about nationalism. So everything is based off militarism, right? And the root word of militarism we said was what?
Military.
All right, so let's jump into this, right? So, life in a trench, right? So that is considered a strategy or a technology during the war, right? So this is exactly what a trench looks like, and I think we had this picture last class on the slide, right?
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna watch a video about exactly that. What is life like in the trench? During the video, here's what I want you guys to pay attention of. We're gonna talk about it after. What are the conditions like in a trench, and how do the soldiers feel about the trench as a strategy as itself? Do they feel like it's effective, not effective? Pay close attention, the video is 4 minutes. I expect you to stay focused.
Once upon a time, a girl with golden locks broke into a house owned by 3 bears. She ate some porridge,
This is
was
not the video.
the bear's chair, and stole some jewelry, a flat screen TV, and a laptop. Luckily, the Geico Insurance Agency had helped the bears with homeowners insurance. They were able to replace all their items, including a new chair, from crate and barrel. Call Geico and see how easy it is to switch and save on homeowners insurance.
The video.
Life in a trench, I'd like to explain in one word: horrific. It's mud, it's death, it's rats, it's stench, and soldiers develop an attitude in a trench. that everybody is going to die.
Life in the trench was abysmal. There were several lines of trenches, and the front line trenches, of course, were the most dangerous because they were constantly under fire.
The Germans dug assiduously, building dry, safe, and comfortable trenches for themselves with bunkers that actually had electricity and sometimes running water. The British and French, who were convinced that they were never going to be there for that long, didn't spend nearly the same effort. And so their trenches tended to be muddy and wet and not that safe.
Disease ran rampant. It was very difficult to get any sort of sleep, a decent hot meal, keep your clothes dry, and more importantly, keep your sanity.
There were so many health problems of just simple disease that took much more men in combat than direct fire.
I think one word that would surprise people about life in a trench: boredom. A lot of time is spent just sitting, cleaning tools, and being scared to death the battle's gonna start in a minute.
Was just the day-to-day monotony, being trapped in this very small space and fighting for a war that's really fought in inches.
The idea of open warfare, of fighting out into what they called no man's land, wasn't working. The technology of the war had advanced so much with machine guns, artillery that could lob shells a mile. It became mostly a defensive war early on, and as a defensive war, you wanted to protect your troops, so the miles and miles of trenches were built.
There were often bodies buried in the sides of trenches, bodies lying out in the open in front of the trenches. The soldiers were experiencing not only the war that they were fighting at the moment, but the war that had been going on throughout those trenches for all of the years.
A young lieutenant writes his mother and says, "I haven't been killed yet, but it's over now." That's typical of the way soldiers felt about life in the trench. You just did it. You existed day to day,